Hello, Australia. My name is Erin Lee. I'm a mom of three from Colorado. And until May of 2021, I was a sleepwalking mom and a lazy Christian. Then the demonic transgender agenda hit our home. One day, my shy 12-year-old daughter was in a new school at the height of COVID protocol. She hadn't made a single friend at her new school, and she was asked to stay after school by her art teacher for an art club. But when she got there, she quickly learned it was actually GSA, or Gender and Sexuality Awareness Club. And the teacher had invited in radical outside activists, predators who target kids as young as 2 with gender ideology. They told the kids what you hear in here, keep in here, and that parents might not be safe. They encouraged the kids to pursue puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones, convincing my daughter that her normal pubescent discomfort meant she was actually trapped in a boy's body and she needed to fix herself. They explicitly asked the kids who they were sexually attracted to, talked about concepts like polyamory and suicide. They gave out personal information to contact the predators. The teachers connected the kids online with these predators on Discord and WhatsApp. They gave them toys and swag to correspond with their new queer and trans labels. And as my daughter left the room that day, her teacher pulled her aside and said, "Remember, you don't have to tell your mom." Now, we're really lucky that my daughter came home and told us what had happened to her. But unfortunately, due to grooming, subtle grooming that had happened in the schools for years that we didn't detect, and now this 2-hour meeting with predators, she truly believed she was trans. And this led to months, even a year, of really, really dark and scary times for our family. That confusion hit her deep. We took her to therapists, hoping to help her, and learned that in the state where we live, therapists are obligated by law to only affirm gender-confused children, and so therapy made her worse. And about 6 months after the incident, my daughter left us a suicide note. Now, while we were fighting for our girl's life, literally at home fighting for her, we were also fighting back against the people who caused this. We contacted the district leadership, who all doubled down, then the police, because this was nothing short of sexual abuse. No one would help us. And when I learned the power of public record request, my right to see what my government is doing, I found so many disturbing things in my school district, like a 15-page transgender toolkit with explicit instructions on how to transition elementary, middle school, and high school children ages 5 to 18. I found our district transitioning 8-year-olds, even after parents had found out and objected. I found secret running lists of names and pronouns that were not to be shared with parents. And these terrifying demonic people gaining unfettered secret access to our kids. I found emails between my school administrators and teachers and the predators who groomed my child, referring to parents as barriers that need to be removed. I found emails that just 2 days after the incident where they harmed our child and attacked our family. They involved Child Protective Services to come to our home for a well child check on our family. We're so lucky we didn't lose our daughter to social services that day. Our little girl was yanked onto this conveyor belt of transgenderism by trusted adults. She was encouraged to medicalize and even threatened to be taken away from us because we weren't willing to affirm her confusion. When we went public with our story, very public, 4 other families came forward just from that art club alone. One of the little girls had even attempted suicide because of the confusion and secrecy, because she followed the rule that you don't tell your parents. Since then, I've connected with thousands of other parents across the country and around the globe who have been affected similarly, whose kids have been secretly transitioned, or who have fallen into rapid onset gender dysphoria and believing that they've been born in the wrong body. So let's fast forward to today. Our daughter just turned 16 and she has completely desisted. She's an overcomer and she's thriving now. I'm only able to be public because she asked me to be. We watched What is a Woman, the Matt Walsh documentary on Daily Wire, and she said, "Mom, why didn't I know this was happening to me while it was happening?" I said, "That's by design. They took advantage of you." And she said, how do I make sure this doesn't happen to other little girls? And I said, you let me tell your story. And so that's what I continue to do. Ours is a horror story, but with a happy ending. We saved our own daughter by banding together as mom and dad. We truly became a team from day one. We never wavered from the truth or affirmed her self-hatred. We removed all the harmful influences immediately. We got her out of the school. We got her off the internet. We got her off of the cell phone. We replaced those toxic relationships and influences with healthy ones. We got outside. My husband spent more time with her, daddy and daughter time. And again, we never gave in to the lie that she had been sold. Now that we've been blessed to save our own daughter, we fight back. Number one, by exposing the evil when we see it and urging parents to exit public schools. They are government schools. They don't work for the public, and they're not good for our children. We fight back with lawfare. I filed a federal lawsuit. In fact, Pam Bondi, now the Attorney General of the United States, took on my case that is ongoing in federal court. And we fight back by creating and fighting for legislation in our state and in our country that protects children and strengthens parental rights. We also made a documentary film about our story called Art Club. It's available for free at artclubmovie.com. You can watch it for free on YouTube and Rumble. And I also remind parents and grandparents that you have the God-given authority over your children and grandchildren. No one can take that right from you. So my call to action is that you first and foremost just talk about this issue and lean into protecting your family. You need to get before your school boards, before your city and state councils. You got to pay attention to the laws that are being passed, to the curriculum that kids are being presented with. We have got to take a more active role in education for the sake of all the kids that are left in the system, even after we've removed our own. So I'll end with this advice. I have younger boys. They were 1 and 6 when this incident happened with our daughter, and I knew I had to protect them from this ideology, but I also knew I didn't want to talk to them about gender and sexuality. So I've boiled it down to these 4 things that I always leave parents and grandparents with. Number 1, safe adults do not ask you to keep secrets. It doesn't matter what that secret is. If they ask you not to tell your parents, they're not safe. Number 2, no one should ever ask you to label yourself. You do not need pronouns. You do not need to pick your gender. You don't need to pick a political party. You're a kid. You've got all the time in the world to figure it out. Number 3, trust your instinct and trust the Lord. This goes for parents as well. When our daughter was swept into this ideology, the whole world told us to go along with it. You must affirm her or she'll commit suicide. But we knew instinctually that that was not right for our child. And so we never wavered for our instinct. And that goes for your kids as well. Teach them. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. And you, my child, have the authority to remove yourself from something that doesn't feel right, from situations that tickle your instinct and you don't feel like you should be there. You have the authority to remove yourself. And then finally, tell your kids early and often that they are fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of God. He doesn't make mistakes. I didn't know I had to do this, but I now understand that we need to be speaking these truths over our kids early and often. I truly believe that if we all take matters into our own hands, we stand up for our kids, get engaged, pay attention, speak up for what's right, we will win this battle of good versus evil for our kids.